So I began with the plasma membrane, and from the plasma membrane, we have a sandwich model and a fluid mosaic model. And the plasma membrane is composed of a phospholipid bilayer. The phospholipids in the phospholipid bilayer contain a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail. It's also an amphipathic molecule, and the phospholipids in the phospholipid bilayer mimic the detergent molecules, or vice versa, because the detergent molecules have a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail. From the hydrophobic tail, we get a glycolipid and glycoproteins. It can also be a saturated fatty acid or an unsaturated fatty acid. From the phospholipid bilayer, we get membrane proteins. And from the membrane proteins, we get transporter membrane proteins, anchor membrane proteins, receptor membrane proteins, and enzyme membrane proteins. We also have integral membrane proteins and peripheral membrane proteins. Monolayer associated membrane proteins are anchored into the membrane. So it's a type of anchored membrane proteins. There are also lipid membrane proteins, which proteoglycan is an example of, and there are also protein-attached membrane-associated proteins. The phospholipid bilayer has an ion channel, and also from the plasma membrane, it is similar to osmosis, where it goes from higher concentration to lower concentration, and with that we get a hypertonic, hypotonic, and an isotonic solution. Through osmosis, we get membrane channels, and with the membrane channels, they allow passive movement of ions, waters, or other solutes to pass through the membranes down to the electrochemical gradient, which is here. And from osmosis, we also have a concentration gradient, which is the particles moving through a solution or gas with an area with a higher number of particles to a lower number of particles, which is kind of like osmosis, except with osmosis has water. So from the membrane channels, we do get simple diffusion, where a substance passes through the membrane without the aid of an integral membrane protein. Passive transport and a channel-mediated transport are like simple diffusion because they don't need to have a sort of a push. It will just occur on its own. There is no other outside source to help it. And also from membrane channels, we get a gated ion channel. And with the gated ion channel, the transmembrane proteins allows a flux of ions to pass only under circumstances, and that is similar to active transport, which kind of needs a boost, or it does need other things for it to pass through the membrane. And also selective permeability is like a gated ion channel because the cell membranes only allow certain molecules to cross into and out of the cell. And that is my membrane concept map.